What's up, everybody? It's Kamal here, and I'm just sitting at home and had a really big epiphany. Something that I've worked in for years, and I've taught a lot of my clients to do: how to create new habits. Why trying to swap one habit for another just doesn't work. And why has this come up right now? Well, I've just created another new habit in my own life. Okay, so one of the new habits I've created is morning journaling, and it's something that I just did sometimes, didn't do other times. There are lots of different habits that we want to get rid of, lots of different habits that we want to create. I'm going to tell you right now in just a few minutes how to exactly make that habit, how to create new habits, how to make it happen, I should say. I'm so excited I can't even get the words out. Okay, so creating new habits. How do we actually do it so that it is long-term sustainable, so that those habits make a positive impact on your life, and it's not effort. It's not an effort that you have to go through over and over and over again. We want it to be habit, meaning habitual, meaning it happens unconsciously. Okay? The example I'm going to use with you right now is the habit of going to the gym. Most people, when they want to do a new habit, it's got something to do with diet or lifestyle. If you are in business owners, you might want to create a new habit around getting up early and knocking off your paperwork before you get to the office. Whatever it is for you, I'm going to give you the number one reason why trying to swap one habit for another never ever works, and exactly what to do to get there. So let's move into it. Hey, creating new habits. Let's take a look. First, we're going to look at how to start them so that they stick. We want them to become effortless and change your life. Firstly, there's the old adage that old habits die hard. Who's heard that saying? I certainly have. And it's an off-the-cuff saying that people use over and over again, but it starts to indoctrinate us. These things that we hear that we don't pay attention to as kids, they begin to indoctrinate us. So I have this belief now that old habits die hard. But like any belief, it can be changed, okay? The reality is it is not true. Old habits don't die hard. The reality is nature abhors a vacuum. So the people that came up with the saying old habits die hard are people that had an old habit, tried to do a new habit. Didn't work. Old habit, tried to do a new habit. Didn't work again. And when the pressure hits, we revert back to what we unconsciously can do. So we revert back to the old habit. That's where the saying comes from. Okay? So trying to swap out one habit for another never works because there's a gap in between. And we always fill that gap. And when we fill a gap, we always fill it with what's easy. And when I say what's easy, it's not like we're trying to avoid work, but unconsciously we go back to what we know. And that's what I'm talking about there. Okay? So the old habit and the new habit, there's a gap in the middle. Getting from one to the other, we're missing a whole heap of the picture. This is why it just doesn't work. Okay? So there are steps. We go from the old habit to the new habit by taking steps, and it is the logical progression. When we actually reverse engineer this, you're going to see how ridiculously simple this is, but the most simple things are, as always, the most effective. Okay? So let's use the going to the gym as the example. So the old habit is I'd sleep in. The new habit is I want to get up and go to the gym. Okay? Massive gap in the middle. So how many people have gone from sleeping in to saying I want to go to the gym, and then maybe they do it once or twice, but then it just kind of peters out over time and they get out of that. All right? So again, the reason why is because there's a big difference between sleeping in and getting up to go to the gym. There's a lot of things that take place. We discount 90% of them. Like if I said to you what happens between sleeping in and going to the gym, most people would just say, well, I just get dressed and go to the gym. There's actually a lot more taking place. And it's unpacking that is the secret to powerfully creating new habits effortlessly. Okay? So there are actually a lot of steps. So we don't want to work out what are the steps from sleeping in to going to the gym. It's actually too difficult to do. What we do is we put ourselves in the gym and we reverse engineer it. We say, I'm in the gym. How did I get to the gym? Well, I drove there. Okay, so what did I do before I drove to the gym? I got in the car. What did I do before I got in the car? I got dressed. What did I do before I got dressed? Well, I turned off the alarm and got out of bed. So all of these little minutiae, these things that we would just dismiss, become so critically important. Turning off the alarm is the first thing you do when you wake up. So we wake up, we turn off the alarm. That is the difference. Most people are going to focus on, I've got to go to the gym, got to go to the gym, got to go to the gym. You need to focus and change only that first step. The way in which we turn off the alarm will have a huge impact on the future flow. Okay? So, what's one habit that you want to develop? Old habit, new habit. Take that habit, reverse engineer it. But let me show you how it works. You don't just turn off the alarm in some different way. You change the way in which you do that. So in this example, what we do is we say, right, well, before you go to bed, you set your alarm clock up in the hallway outside your bedroom. In fact, set your alarm clock up and put your gym clothes next to it. So that in order to turn off the alarm, we must change the way in which you do this. We change the way in which you turn off the alarm. So you get out of bed and you turn off the alarm. You physically have to move your gym shoes off the top of your alarm clock to turn it off. So all you've done in the morning is we've got you out of bed. You've touched your gym clothes before you've even turned off the alarm. So we change the way you do that. Then you have what's called a flow-on effect. Okay, now you're out of bed. You're literally out of bed with your gym clothes in your hands. What are your chances now of putting your gym clothes on and actually getting to the gym? 100 times higher than if you just tried to wake up, turn the alarm off as normal, and then think about all the things you need to do and then go, oh, well, I didn't sleep too well, and make an excuse. No, you have to get out of bed, you have to go to the hallway to turn it off, and you've got your gym clothes in your hand. So change the way you do that very first fundamental thing. Okay, guys, so what's one habit that you might want to develop? What's the old habit? What's the new habit? Step one in the process is to reverse engineer it. Don't fall into the trap of trying to do this the easy, fast way. Oh, my old habit is X, so I'm just going to do this one thing differently. No, start with a new habit. Put yourself there. I want to start getting into the office at 8 o'clock every morning. Well, reverse engineer it. What do? Well, I park the car. Before that, I drive to the office. Before that, and you might get back to not just waking up earlier. You might be waking up early enough as it is, but maybe there's something else you'll shift. Always reverse engineer it until you find one thing that you can do differently. Okay. One thing you might be doing is sitting down for breakfast every morning with the family. Well, that would not be something that you'd want to change because it's got a higher priority. So then what is the next thing? So that's why it's so important to reverse engineer it, because you'll work out that there are some things that you could change, but you don't want to because of the priority. So it's really, really important. So what you need to do is step one, reverse engineer it. Step two, focus on the first thing only. How can you drastically change the first thing such that it creates a flow, and then you flow on to your new habit? It really is that simple, folks. And like most people that fail in developing new habits, they go too big too fast. People hear this and still fail to make new habits because they discount the tiniest little thing. Remember, I just talked about how you turn your alarm off, and that is the difference between the old ways and the new ways. Once you've done that for a week to 10 days, you're on your way. Once you've done it 21 times, you actually have new habit created. Okay, so it's not the 10,000 hours, blah, blah, blah. It's not the you have to be disciplined to do it every single. You don't have to be disciplined to get up every morning. Set your alarm clock off. You're not going to sleep while that thing's going off. Okay, so it will help you with the discipline. It's knowing where to focus, because what you focus on is what you get to the exclusion of everything else. Folks, that's how to create new habits. I trust you got some great value. If you've got any questions, make sure you send them through. And until we speak again, live extraordinary.